Hello everyone, welcome to Dnyanjyoti Education. So, aspirants, as you know that MPSC Prelims examination 2025 is scheduled on 28th September 2025. Now we have hardly 100 days left and now we should pick up all the subjects strategically. We should understand that we should now be very much specific in our preparation. And today in this video I am going to talk about how you can prepare geography as a subject. In this video I am specifically going to talk about that is world geography and Indian geography. World geography, which is also known as general geography, is what we have to prepare for this examination, where concepts and all the principles of geography we have to understand and on which we are going to be tested. Now, even in this video, I am even going to give you how you can prepare geography in 20 days. After this, we would be soon coming up with a video that would be related to Maharashtra geography, in which video I would be giving you a 15 days plan, so that total days you have to spend for geography is around 30 to 35 days. Working 3 to 4 hours, studying for 3 to 4 hours daily, you can definitely cover this subject in 40 days. It is a subject that is going to come for 15 questions, that is 30 marks. So let us understand what are the topics that we have to prepare, and let us begin with this video. So the agenda of our video is a 20 days strategy for geography, and geography that is for MPSC state services, which is also known as Rajya Seva, 28th September 2025. What are the topics that we have to prepare? Now whatever list I'm giving you, it is an very much researched, analyzed, and by understanding all the PYQs, these are the topics that you have to prepare. Whatever topics I am listing out, you have to prioritize this topic, after which you can definitely cover the remaining topics too. So the purpose is not to give you the whole topic listing, but the topics which are recurringly and on which the questions have been based. Now, the very first thing that you should be able to prepare is related to geography of world and Indian geography is basic such as Earth's latitude, longitude and geographical basis of the time. Latitude, longitude, these are very basic preliminary points that we have to prepare. And one thing that I have to make you sure that I want to tell you is that whenever you are preparing latitude and longitudes, start with the basics and go to the advanced concept. Then you have geographical locations and area of India, the extent, the latitudinal locational extent, the area. India is 7th largest country. You have to mug up the area in kilometers, in million square kilometers, so that any questions come, you will be able to answer it. Then major map sections will include north, south, east, west of India. You have to understand which are the states in the north, east, west, south, how each state is actually bordered by another state, which are the states that are bordering the international line, international boundary line. Specifically, you have to now see how India and Pakistan border is, because a terrorist attack has been done and definitely it can be a potential question. Along with this topic, I even want to make you aware that you have to prepare evolution of Earth and its theories. Evolution of the Earth and theories. Theories such as tidal hypothesis, nebular hypothesis, theories such as what we can say Big Bang theory, and you have to even mug up which are the persons associated with all those theories. Further moving on, when we are preparing geography, another important point is the structure and geographical features of the earth. Structure of the earth, that is the internal structure, crust, mantle, core, Sial, Sima, all those points you have to prepare. The temperature, what are the different densities, what is known as barysphere, what is known as mesosphere. You even have to understand that Earth's internal structure is a repeated point that is coming. Any simple basic question we should be able to answer to this topic. This topic is very much important because whenever we are studying Earth's internal structure, we would be studying all the topics related to it, such as earthquakes, volcanoes. I have listed those topics also, but you can definitely see that those topics are also that you can prepare. Contribution and the theory, I would say contribution of continental drift theory. Contribution of continental drift theory which is given by Alfred Wegener is something that you have to understand, and with this important mountains and plateaus are also you have to prepare. This theories, that is continental drift theory, seafloor spreading theory, plate tectonic theory, and all the theories that are associated with distribution of land and ocean are to be prepared on for our prelims examination. Then students, another important point is mountains and plateaus of India. You have to understand that whenever we are talking about Indian physiography and also Maharashtra physiography, it should be prepared in detail. The purpose is not to give you the points that you have to prepare, but to make your attention towards a specific topic that you have to prepare thoroughly. Himalayan ranges, north direction and all the formation, orthogonal structure, then Vindhyan, Satpura, Gadchiroli and the Gadchiroli along with the Deccan Plateau. You should be very aware all the features of Thar Desert, all the features of all the 5 physiographic region, that is Himalayas, that is North Indian plain, that is plateau region, that is coastal region, all should be prepared, because Indian physiography and Maharashtra physiography are those topics which are definitely basic and we should be able to answer each and every question from them. Be aware that MPSC have changed its pattern. MPSC has changed its syllabus and even the way they are going to ask question. Now it is a descriptive examination, and this descriptive examination can definitely make you write about the Indian physiography or make you write about the Maharashtra physiography as an means analytical question. So even if you prepare this topic now only for prelims only, we would be in a good position actually to attempt means also in a very right and appropriate way. Then further moving on, friends, we have river system and the water resources. Now whenever we are talking about river system, all the important rivers should be prepared. All the important rivers such as Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Indus, Kaveri, Godavari, then we have Mahanadi, Narmada, Tapi should be thoroughly prepared by understanding their detail in each and every manner. For what is the length of their flow, which are the states through which they are flowing, important left bank tributaries, right bank tributaries, where are the important confluences areas, which are the important confluence area of important tributaries. We even need to understand their drainage system so that any questions when it is coming, it can be answered. Even if you see MPSC's 2024 approach, you will find out that whenever river systems tributaries have been asked, the projects or the irrigation projects or the dams situated on them are even the questions for the prelims examination. So friends, what we can do, we can actually study each and every river system, draw it on the map, make small micro notes so that those would be easy during the revision phase. So understand, river and river system and even water resources, different canal, irrigation, tank are to be understood, because MPSC have an orientation towards asking such type of question. So you should be able to mark the question rightly whenever you are facing it in the prelim stage. And it's an factual data that you need to mug up. So I would advise that whenever you are studying river system and water resources, make short and micro notes. That would be really helpful for you while making your revision. Further moving on, then we have weather and wind system. Now whenever we are talking about weather and wind system, each and every wind system should be understood. what is primary, secondary and tertiary circulation, what are planetary winds, jet stream. Then we should be able to understand what is the Indian monsoon. Along with the Indian monsoon, we should be able to understand what are the conditions in summer season, what are the conditions in winter season. Then Indian monsoon should also be accompanied with what are the winds that are flowing in summer season, what are the winds flowing in the winter season, what is the location of ITCZ. Each and everything should be mentioned and understood in detail. And in secondary circulation, along with the Indian monsoon, another important point that you should prepare is the tropical and the temperate cyclone. Along with this, in the tertiary circulation, you have to even understand local winds. All these points related to wind and weather pattern are to be understood. Any type of question, it might be factual or it might be analytical, can be a potential question for our examination. So friends, you have to understand that whenever we are understanding this winds, weather system, this system is to be understood in as detail as possible, so that it can be a definitely potential question which would be appearing. If you analyze the past 10 years question, you will find that questions on winds are asked very oftenly. So I would say it's a very important area that you should concentrate upon. Further moving on, then we should be understand soil and soil related science. Everything related to soil should be understood. All the major types of soil should be understood. What are macronutrients and micronutrients and how they are obtained from the soil is something that you should prepare. India is classified into 8 kinds of soil, and all those 8 kinds of soil with their chemical properties and physical properties should be learned by heart, so that what you will be facing in the examination, that questions related to soil should be answered correctly. Friends, whenever we are answering questions related to soil, you should understand that soil is that topic which is related to biogeography. Soil, along with soil, there are some other issues also, that is soil erosion. Then you should be in even position to understand types of soil erosion, how those soil erosion can be prevented, and how the soil erosion actually, which are the different methods through which soil erosion can be stopped. Everything related to soil can be definitely asked as an MCQ question. Specifically, if you analyze, recurring questions have been come on a type of soil which is called as alluvial soil. Alluvial soil, which is found the most in the Indian subcontinent, is something that they are keenly asking. And on the basis of this soil, the most important aspect related to soil is asked is the chemical composition. What are the chemical substances which are lacking in the soil, and which are the important compositions that are abundant in the soil? Something, a comparative chart you have to prepare. Then I can list down all the soil and the major constituent and the constituent which are lacking in the soil. So this is how you should prepare for the soil or biogeography. Further, we have even to prepare questions which are related to forest and biodiversity. India, which is having abundant natural resources, is to be prepared. If you see February 2025 current affairs, you will even have Indian State Forest report that are appearing, and those Indian State Forest reports fact should be marked up, because it can be a potential question from current perspective also. Which are the different types of forest that India has? What are the different types of trees in that forest? Everything should be prepared thoroughly. Forest is in that area which is even included in environment. So I would say you are even covering environment forest part also. Once you covered it in any subject, either in environment or either in geography, you will be done with the subject. Forest is very important, and this forest you have to understand deciduous, evergreen and even desert or thorny forest is something that should be understood with peculiar characteristics of those forests. Then friends, further you have to understand sanctuaries and areas of biodiversity conservation, that is protected area networks, are even to be understood in a very brief manner. National park, national sanctuary, wildlife sanctuaries can be asked in the form of match the pair. On one side they might be listing out the biodiversity, the national park, and on the other side they might list out the states, and then match the pair can be a potential question. So you have to understand that whenever we are covering forest, try to cover national parks, wildlife sanctuaries and the protected areas for the examination also. Then further moving on, we have minerals and energy resources. Now this is a point where at least one or two questions will definitely come. Whenever we are talking about economic geography, then all the mineral resources are to be understood in a very brief manner. Mineral resources, their distribution in India as well as distribution in Maharashtra should be understood. Mineral resources such as coal, petrol, then we have mineral resources such as copper, mineral resources such as manganese, bauxite are to be understood and to be studied with the help of their distribution area. I would even suggest that what you can do, you can even mug up the mines also, state and mines. Whenever we are studying geography at Maharashtra level, this micro detailing is very important. Mines related to the tehsils or the talukas and the district are to be listed out, because questions have repeatedly come and questions are factual, and therefore you should understand that you should be able to answer it in correct manner. This one or two questions are definitely going to matter, because it is going to make or break your selection. If you see, the cutoff is definitely increasing, and therefore I would say we cannot compromise on such minute detail, and we have to actually cover this detail, and therefore you have to understand that go for micro detailing in related to mines and minerals. Mines and minerals can be even studied with industries also. Industries and industrial belts is something that you should be understood in a very systematic manner. You should be able to identify which mineral belt is famous or is mainly a source for any particular industrial production. And therefore you should understand that whenever we are studying minerals or economic geography, it should be studied in detail. It is that part where many students are definitely lacking. So you should concentrate and try to cover it in as deep manner as possible. Then further moving on, few important basic points that are of course a ritual to be prepared, that is earthquake, volcanoes. Whenever we are studying earthquake, we have to understand what are the different types of earthquake waves, how they are formed, from where they are formed, how they are used to understand the internal structure of the earth, how plate tectonics theory explains the earthquake. We should be able to grasp that detail, so that if analytical questions come, because if you see the nature of the question, the concept have been even asked in the form of MCQ, where four statements are given, and you are even made to identify which of the following reason is correct, and there you need a deeper conceptual understanding. So I would suggest that go for understanding. Then types of volcanoes and main examples are even to be studied. Volcanoes are classified into two types: the mode of eruption and the time of eruption. So whenever the mode of eruption is seen, then earthquake can be classified as volcanian, Pelian. All these are to be understood, Hawaiian type. And whenever we are talking about time of eruption, then active, dormant and extinct volcanoes are classified. These volcanoes, along with their understanding, should be even learned by heart with the help of examples, so that I hopefully, if they are giving example and they are saying that match the pair, you should be able to do it. So it is something that you have to definitely prepare, and therefore I would suggest that go for such micro detailing, that will be really helpful for the examination. Further moving on, after earthquake and volcanoes, you have to understand that these are the topics that we have understood. Now how to cover those topics? For this I have made a small timetable that you can follow. You can definitely cover all these things into a 20 days plan. I am giving you a 20 days strategy, and mind well that this 20 days strategy is only for Indian and world geography. I would say another 15 days would be needed for Maharashtra geography. So a 35 days plan would be sufficient to cover geography as a subject with PYQ. Now to cover geography, there are few prerequisite, I would say. You have to at least study for 3 to 4 hours each day with special emphasis on map, so that once you prepare that point, then you are done and you have actually covered, so that it does not create a problem in future. Then prepare brief notes on important topics and do practice and mock test every day along with previous year question. That would give a strategy, that would give a definite direction towards the exam preparation. So friends, whenever we are understanding that this geography can be covered in 20 days, what are the ways I am explaining you? Here are the number of days. In the first 2 days, in 2 days, what you can try to cover is a structure of the earth, latitude and longitude. Map practice, identification of important latitudes and longitudes is something that you can cover. On the day 3 and 4, internal structure, continental drift theory can be covered. You can even have a glance on seafloor spreading and plate tectonics theory, so that Wegener's and other important scientists are covered, so that you do not miss out the question from this topic. Then do mountain ranges, plateaus and valleys, especially in India. Do mountain ranges from the world also. If I sit and try to cover all the brief mountain ranges of the world, it would hardly take at least 1 or 2 hours, because at the world level they are not going into detail, but India definitely needs specific preparation. Himalayas, Western Ghats is something that you can prepare. Then we can prepare the river system, drainage system and all the watershed areas. Major river system and drainage pattern can be prepared. Then on the day 9th and 10th, you can go for climatology. Climatology will hardly take 3 hours, but the prerequisite that you have understood it priorly. So I would say only 3 hours is enough, but still I am giving you 2 days, so that any leftovers or any topic missing, you can cover it during these days, and you can definitely cover it in detail. Then you can go for biogeography on the 11th and 12th day, where you can take a soil as a point, and major type of soil and soil conservation can be studied. Then go for vegetation, forest conservation and biodiversity. I would say 13th and 14th is something that is geography and environment part. So whenever you are taking environment, you would be saving days here only. Go for I would say forest types, and even try to cover Indian State Forest Report. Then go for mineral energy resource and industries. Then importance of mineral and state-wise industries and energy resource. Then cover geographical phenomena such as earthquake, volcano, where you can understand it in detailed manner. I would say only 1 day is enough, but still I have allotted 2 days, so that you do it in a very deep manner. Then on the 9th and 10th day, you can go for map practice and complete revision of this point. These are the points that I have identified that have been asked for prelims repeatedly. Apart from this, if you see, hardly any questions are coming from oceanography. So do not prioritize while preparing geography. Okay, you can even change it according to your will, or you can even take any points. If friends, you have already made some plan and you are going with that, go with that. This is just a supplementary suggestion by me. From my video, if you are getting any new point, you can add it, but do as you have planned. And if you are not at all planning anything, then go with the way that I am suggesting. In 20 days, you would be definitely in a good position to at least attempt this subject at its best in the prelims examination. So before ending this video, let me make you understand that map practice and question present and question solving, I would say, would be the right way to actually prepare. map identification in India, major rivers, mountains, plateaus, minerals is something that you have to practice recurringly. An important question from previous years is something that you have to practice. And whenever you are practicing and going with this way, you would be in a good position. So, what to concentrate on the last 100 days, the way or the points that I have suggested in the video, please go through it, make notes, and definitely have a strategized preparation. So, thank you, friends.